Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Got to get to the 8. He's going to take off and run. Mendoza weaves his way first and goes diving toward the end zone. Touchdown! Beck steps up, delivers downfield, intercepted! Jamari Sharp makes the pick that will clinch Indiana's first national championship.
Hey, welcome back. Hoosier Happy Hour podcast. Season preview, schedule preview at Washington. We're almost done. Game number 11. And with us, finally rejoining us from the great state of Michigan is Seth. Seth, we'll start with you. What's up, Seth?
I have returned.
Yes, he has with this little dance.
Michigan made me a bitch again.
The night man cometh.
Oh,
and that's
boy.
Brandon. You guys know Brandon. Let's avoid as many men comeths as possible on this podcast. All right. We'll hop right into it. It's all about business today. I am not excited about this podcast. For other reasons, as if I was like not excited to talk USC because I was scared, or it was. This is just bear with us. We're going to try. I think Brandon has a lot of opinions on this team. Seth probably does as well. But we've got some stuff to get through real quick. We're just going to hit it. We're just going to continue to do it just because I know you guys want to hear it. You guys are more than welcome to join the Patreon if you don't want to listen to ads. I know you guys had to probably skip through all the ads at the beginning of the podcast. $3 a month. You can do it. Member perks. Actually, Seth, I found one of your shirts. I found a shirt for you. We only had one left.
Aw.
One of the double X left. Oh, didn't mean to give that away. He likes his shirts big and loose. Like
He's big and loose.
I'm consistent, baby.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, if anybody, whether you're on the Patreon or not, if anybody just wants an LEO podcast shirt, just reach out. I've got a bunch of mediums, larges, and a few XLs left. So I'll just give them to you. Some other cool things that were just given to things, Stephen Hardy was just given to us.
Well, it's Stephen Daly.
Stephen Daly. Sorry, why did I say Stephen Hardy? Stephen Daly.
Who
I even
is
wrote
Stephen Hardy
Hardy
a
now.
person? Is that a person?
We know this person. I feel like Stephen.
No, that's not.
Why
a
does that
person.
sound Stephen Hardy? No, Stephen.
I'm too afraid to Google it.
Handy?
No.
No,
We got
that's
a
not it
comment,
either.
A handy, a big and loose, and we are 3 minutes into the podcast.
On the way.
Google search has gone incognito.
Stephen Daly is back, and Stephen Daly is like back. If you haven't seen it already, Brandon just shared a link from Twitter. He is at practice, like practicing, not just standing there looking around. He is full on practicing.
In a new number, so be on the lookout.
Yep, number 9, not number 8. There's another rumor going around, or should I say,
there's not a rumor.
Wyatt? What's going on with that one? What's going on with the other possible returner?
If you want to get this information ahead of time, go to Peegs.com, part of 24/7 Sports. 62 minutes ago, as of 3:40 p.m. Eastern Time. What I've been told in the past 24 hours or so, it sounds very positive for IU in relation to Wyatt. That is information I am using from 24/7 Sports, Peegs.com. So yeah, I mean, I am writing it in blood that Kellen Wyatt will be back. I'm also stating that I don't think he comes and plays edge. I think he returns to his Maryland roots as an outside linebacker, and he plays in not the base 4-2-5. I believe he is a situational and game script linebacker, similar to Isaiah Jones last year. I think he plays that third linebacker when they're either running out heavy or they're running out tight ends or it's an obvious run play. Because I don't know if you want to get into Daly now. There's no room for him on the 2 deep, if we're being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And he did a position change for IU. He went from outside linebacker to edge. I do think he goes back to his Maryland roots. What are your thoughts on that, Seth? As you know, I know you're a position changer in video games often.
His position changer.
Well, we know he's not. We know he's not that. But as far as position flexibility,
Yeah, I think this is the perfect guy to do it. I think the experience he can draw back from being a pretty high level, Big Ten player at the position gives a guy like him a lot of credence. Sometimes we're going to talk about, I think, on the defensive line for Washington, guys maybe dropping from outside to inside. There are some transitions. Deep breath, move on, that are easier to make than others. And anytime you can rely on past experience, I think that's a huge beneficial trait to take over in that. So this is a guy who has the experience. He has system experience. He has positional experience. I think those two will dovetail together really well. And I think we've lamented a couple of times that we wish there was clarity on who that third linebacker was. And we have hope and we have optimism about probably about 3 or 4 different guys I think we've talked about potentially filling that role. Does this end that conversation? Probably.
So he's a little bit bigger than Bones Jones. So I just went and looked it up. They're both 6'2". Height is not as important as weight in this. Kellen Wyatt is 6'2", 250. Where Bones Jones is 6'2", 225.
But if you're a strong side run stuffing off ball linebacker, that doesn't matter as much because you're not going to be expected to cover. You're not going to be expected to be in a lot of situations where you're going to be exploited from an athletic standpoint. So in those situations, size really does help.
Did drop into coverage a few times.
Yes, he did.
Last year.
Yeah, from the defensive end from the defensive end.
So I mean, again, Isaiah Jones, while playing that position, made a pretty big interception at Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll be asked to cover, but I do think coverage will be a thing he has to do, and I think he can do it. They wouldn't have asked him to do it last year if they weren't confident that he could do it. So I'm not super worried about sub packages with Kellen Wyatt being out there covering a flat, right? Which is mostly what Isaiah Jones was, either into a designated zone area or a man flat. I think Kellen Wyatt has the athleticism to be able to do that. But can we go back to Daly just real quick?
Please.
Go back to Daly. I think this gives us. Everyone was raving the Oregon defensive line. Indiana has to have the best defensive line in the at least the Big Ten, if not the country. Listen to this. This is my 2 deep. Okay. On the defensive end, you got Daly's when healthy. I don't think he's probably healthy until middle of the season. That's fine. We don't need him until probably Ohio State, if we're being honest. We really don't need him to be 100% impact player until Ohio State. So fast forwarding until then. I think you got Daly and Burnham as the defensive ends. Okay. Then I think you got Tucker and the big guy from Tulsa. Never going to be able to say his name until I hear Don Fisher say it. Jelly, maybe. So I got Tucker and Jelly at D tackle. At nose tackle, I got Landino. And here's the big one. I think you kick Abiazor inside. The dude's 285, 290. So I'm moving him in from basically Daly took his spot and I'm kicking him inside.
But
And then
Daly runs on the other side. Daly runs on that stud side. He doesn't run on the Kamara side.
But then
Right?
I think on the stud side, you put the other Kansas State guy, and you put in Duke.
Sami.
Yeah.
That,
So I think you put Osasami and Nduke on the true stud edge.
That's where they'll be. Yeah.
Then I think you put Daly and Burnham. Burnham was already on the defensive end, the weak side defensive end, which is more of the run side. I think you put Daly on that side, and then Tucker and Gile, and then Landino and Abiazor. That would be my two deep. But you're right. That would have to change some things. A few of those things I am moving around, but I think that gives you a two deep with basically two all conference units.
Yeah, I mean it's really good.
That's 8 guys, and I'm kind of breaking it down 2, 2, and 2, right? Just for video game depth chart. But that's how I would do it. How would you guys do it?
Well, I was gonna say I don't think we need to get into the too deep yet because we'll have a whole episode. But let's get into it. I don't think that Burnham starts. I don't think Hajeli starts
I think he backs
either.
up Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got, if I were to do it day one, I think when they come out, I think it comes out the way that it would be in pencil right now, right? So you have both K-State defensive ends on each end, and then you've got Landino and Tucker in the middle. I think that's your starting for game one, first snap. That's your starting for.
And we know that Haynes and Sig can move things around. Year one, Landino was an outside D end. His freshman year, because we had injuries, they kicked him inside, right? And then he played inside all last year. So we've seen before this coaching staff move Landino outside in. So that's why I think you're right. I think to start camp, both Kansas State guys are on the outside. I would just move Abiazor inside as soon as Daly is 100% ready to go.
I'm with you because if you look, so there's two things. There's two things that these two guys coming back. Once Wyatt is officially signed up, we'll say he is back. But they do a lot of big things, right? So if you look at our lads, let's just look at that, for example. If you look at the defensive tackle position, you've got Tucker, Landino, Hajeli, and then you've got Javarius Hall. Redshirt freshman Javarius Hall. So if you were to move in Cheedy from the outside to the inside, that gives you a lot more depth in that position, which is needed, right?
Yep.
So I will agree with you on that one. If they could do that mid-season. They did. I mean, look at what they did we thought when Kellen Wyatt got hurt, we thought that was the end of that side of the football field defensively. We were like, oh, maybe
we were thinking
Daly
Kamara was going to have to move around, and then
Stephen Daly comes in as a beast. Yes. So the
also,
other part,
I would say Hall's not the guy. It's Kyler Garcia, who was a stud coming out of high school.
Yes. Well, they've got Kyler. I don't know why they do. They've got Kyler listed as like the DT with Landino and Hajeli, and they've got Tucker and Hall as the nose tackle. So I mean, they're not perfect, but that's
Kyler Garcia is 300 pounds.
Kyler Garcia is a beast. I also don't think that in this defense that there's any effing difference between. There is no true nose tackle, right? I don't think we've seen.
You just look at Tucker and Hall
in 2 years
versus Landino, right? Tucker and Hajeli have a different body than Landino. I think Kyler has the Tyree Tucker body.
He's got the big boy. He's got the big CJ West. Yeah. That's your true nose tackle kind of thing. But
Kyler Garcia is the future at nose tackle.
Yes. But either way, that moves in, creates a solution there, as well as Wyatt, who, if you're looking at it right now, honestly, your third, or I guess your fourth linebacker with experience, and we love him, is Jeff Utzinger. That's your fourth. That's your fourth linebacker. Yeah, Caden. We put Caden at 3, put Jeff at 4. So now I think, and it sucks for Caden because I think Caden was finally going to get his shot, but I think Kellen bumps Caden back.
Yeah.
And then you've got those again. You have 4 very experienced players in that position. But Seth, what are your thoughts on?
Yeah, I'm going to
where
blow up
this
everything
goes?
you just said because I don't think any of it matters whatsoever. I think what you have right now is a versatility that you can attack different sub packages, and that's really
Yes.
what's the focus. Is it's not about who's the D tackle, who's the nose tackle, who's the hard edge, who's the soft edge. Nobody gives a shit. What you
You
have
love a
here
hard
is
edge, brother.
see, I'm a soft edge guy. But that's where we're at. Is we're in a position where if you need to rush the passer, you can get 4 guys on the field with their hands down rushing. And they can get mismatches. If somebody has a weak guard, you can bump one of these guys to left, to D tackle, so they can exploit that matchup. What you have now is a series of 8 to 9 chess pieces, because defensive line is the most heavily rotationed group of players in any team, whether it's bantamweight football all the way up to the NFL. You need to have about 8 to 10 defensive linemen just to get through a game. And this 8 to 10 is about the most versatile group that you can mix and match to counteract any team that's going to throw at you. So if you go up against Ohio State, you need to have 2 big boys at D tackle. Well, guess what? We can move 2 of the heavier guys inside, but 2, and still have 2 run stuffers at defensive edge, at the edge. So I do think there's just so much versatility. There's so many different schemes where you can have the NASCAR package where you just put 4 defensive ends out there and rush the hell out of the pass. You can move Kellen Wyatt. Again, we talked about this. Put him at an edge in some situations where he can pass rush. So you have all this flexibility, and we all have tons of faith in Haynes to put them in those exploitative situations to benefit. So I think this is just an absolute perfect
So
match.
you're saying engage 8 every play? 'Cause we've seen what
No.
Hardy and
I think at least
Jones
5 or
can do.
6. I think you got to bring 5. I think 5's a healthy number. It's where's that 5th one coming from? It's put that seed of doubt in their head every single time.
We'll get to it, but man, I think Hardy has half a dozen sacks this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
I think Jones does
he's
similar.
major addition. Yeah, and Jones, I
Such
just
a good
think
blitzer.
because he is, and I just think because of when he got to the team, when he was on the team, the times he played with a previous coaching staff, we very much undervalue him, very, very much, and
Who you
to see
talking
him
about?
getting Isaiah Jones, and to
Oh,
see
yeah.
him getting a lot of the All-American accolades preseason, a lot of the Nagurski. I don't know if we saw that or not. There were, I think, a handful of guys preseason watch list for the Nagurski Award. He was one of them. So it's just a really good defense. It just got a lot
And
better.
I know we're talking Daly and we're talking Wyatt, but the first practice was today, and Isaiah Jones has stepped into that Aiden Fisher leadership role. He was, at least again from what I read on Twitter, which is it is Twitter. He's laying into guys. He's leading the stretching. He's hyping the guys up. If there was any worry, which I don't have any, there was a little bit of a leadership vacuum, right? With Pons and Fisher and Surratt. Even though Surratt wasn't vocal, he was still very much a leader in the clubhouse. I think Bones Jones will be the heart, not just of the defense, but of the team.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Seth is waving us on. We're going to skip through some of this other stuff, right? First official coaches poll comes out. Mind-boggling. Even people in the SEC were like, how does this work? Ohio State comes out number 1, 38 first place votes. Oregon number 2 with 6 first place votes. Georgia at number 3 with 7 first place votes. Texas with 2. Notre Dame with 5 at 5th place. And at 6th place, IU with 14 first place votes. So the whole we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. The whole thing is, okay, who are the other 6 people that voted with Kirby Smart to put Georgia with 7 first place votes? And why is Indiana at 6th and Georgia at 3, right? It's stupid. None of it matters. Michigan's probably in the top 25, didn't even look past IU, and they're not going to be there at the end of the season. So it's all a tradition. We'll just let it play out.
So,
do you guys
again, it would make sense. Just what I know of video game math, right? the first place votes is typically, because it's all a weighted math formula, right?
Yeah, 25 for first, one for 25th.
If IU had 14, that means some people must have had IU like 20th.
Yep.
Or 25th or unranked.
That's insane, dude.
Means
it's not that low, but several had them in the teens. Yes.
Like, that's the only way you can do the math to where IU drops to 6th after 14 first place votes, which I'm just assuming everyone in the SEC just voted IU in the teens. I don't know this. This is just me they were real pissed off at Signetti's comments last week, and they go, well, we're just dinging you on the coaches because we don't like you, which is great. We'll play the villain. This stuff doesn't matter. IU started, 23 last year and won the national championship. So none of this ultimately matters.
Yeah, and the one that does matter comes out on the 17th, Monday the 17th at noon. Bleacher Report did a they did a freaking prediction, right? And it's the same 6. It just swapped Texas and Georgia.
None of this matters except for at least
none of it matters.
The writers have to disclose theirs. I think theirs is public. I think the other ones get leaked occasionally on Twitter.
Yep. All right. I don't want to do this. I think we have to. I don't want to spend very much time on it. I also don't want to point fingers. It is what it is. IU and Notre Dame series canceled 2030, 2031. I think Brandon said it a few times on this podcast. It was probably going to happen. It is, to me, very convenient news that at the exact same time, on the exact same articles, on the exact same announcement, that Notre Dame had scheduled those games with USC on the same year. Obviously, everybody wants to point fingers at IU and IU this and IU that. What do you guys think about that? And 2, no chance we play at UConn in 2032, correct?
No. 0.0%.
It's a non-story.
Exactly.
Sig wouldn't allow us to play a road game non-conference.
It's embarrassing.
He's put his flag down that the schedule's this way because it's best for our program. And we're going to do this until we're forced not to. Yeah, I mean, if Notre Dame doesn't want to play in a conference, then they shouldn't complain about who they get or don't get to play. And so Bragg said, let's not point fingers. I'm pointing that finger. They could point the finger right at themselves because you don't have to play anyone. You are choosing all 12 games. We can choose 3 of ours. And of those 3, they're not you. Sorry. Okay? You didn't make the cut.
And 6 of them are ACC filler schools.
Right? So until you join a conference and have to play 9 games, shut the F up. Like, seriously, shut up. We have to play 9 games against the best teams in the best conference. Okay? That's what we have to do. That's what we're obligated to do. You're not in the picture. You're nothing. You're the Mad Men gif. I don't even think about you.
It is infuriating, right? When you sit back and you look at Notre Dame and like this, I want to know, like, I don't know where they rank overall, like historically wise, like national championships and everything else, but the way that they throw their bitch fits and the way that they get their way with everything and the way that they now have their own little setup with the CFP, it's just infuriating. But it doesn't matter, right? We can play whoever we want in the regular season.
Rankings, they're number 1.
Oh, they have to be. They've got to be.
It's just they want to have their cake and eat it too. You can't have it both ways all the time, every time.
Do they eat cake? Yeah, I guess they can eat. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. They just don't look like cake people, Notre Dame. Well, maybe they do. Some of them look.
They're all a little doughy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right. Can we finally talk Washington? Is this ever going to happen?
I don't want to, but we can. I can't wait for you guys to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about them very much at all, but because they're probably one of the most least interesting teams I have had to put a preview on this entire series.
You love their quarterback.
I don't. You do.
Yeah,
I don't see any. I don't see it. But let's get into it.
He's a
All right.
short king demon, baby. Short king demon.
God, dude. All right, so Saturday, November 21st, it's the second to last game of the season. It'll take place at, believe it or not, preseason ranked number 19, Washington.
What's the
Husky
weather
Stadium.
like
There
in
won't be a
late
number
November
there.
in Tacoma?
There won't be a number. I don't know. I think it'll probably be cold.
50, 45.
Yeah.
Probably
Maybe
rainy.
rain. Probably rain. Yep, there it is.
Understand Northwest weather. Isn't it just always 50 degrees and rain? Just
And rain.
12 months out of the year?
Why do you think
It
I
will
said
be-
that with such confidence?
There you go. It will be gray. It will be either gray or black, depending on the time of the day that we're out there. The sky. Don't sit here and put your hands up. Husky Stadium, Seattle, Washington. I hope that's where it stays. I hope this isn't one that gets moved into whatever they're calling the Seahawks Stadium nowadays. TV, we don't know. TV guessing game, I don't know. There's some decent games. Iowa at Illinois, UCLA at Michigan, Northwestern at Minnesota, Big Ten, Ohio State at Nebraska, Rutgers at Penn State, Wisconsin at Purdue, Big Ten, and Maryland at USC. This has got to be 3:30 or night. But I think Ohio State at Nebraska screams 3:30 CBS.
I think you get saved
I think this is
from
our
the
only
10
night
o'clock
game.
game, though, with the
This is our
USC
only
one.
night game.
It's
I think
not
it's
our
about 8
only night
o'clock.
game. Goober. We played
Count-
8 o'clock against Northwestern, Big Ten opener.
I'm Saturday. Saturday.
Oh, there you go. All right. All
night
right.
game. Goober.
All right. Series history. IU leads 3-1. Last time we played, 2024, the roll out the big red carpet game. One of that guy had that so cheesed up and ready to go for whatever possible play happened, and he had it on maybe one of the best ones ever. It was also the only game Taven Jackson started in the 2024 season. Not great. I looked at his stats. It wasn't great. About a little bit under 60% passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But defense was really good for IU. Scored a touchdown. Pons had a couple picks. Fun little game.
Dude, the
Fun little game.
pick was unreal.
Yes, it was. Yeah, against Boston, right? Boston, who towers over him by a good probably 4 to 6 inches.
Wide receiver
And-
one in Cleveland. Wide receiver
Really?
one.
That's tough. Wait, isn't Concepcion in Cleveland?
Yeah, he's a slot guy. Talking
Okay.
outside.
All right. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't even remember the other games. I didn't even look them up. Usually I do, but I didn't on that one. Preseason wins. This was tough for me. Preseason wins over under 7.5 with the over negative money, negative 170. They are the 25th best ranked schedule, and their FPI rank is 26. I will give a spoiler alert because I won't go wins and losses with you guys. I have the under, and I have the under by a solid under.
Ooh.
And I'll tell
I
you,
have them at 7.
I have them at 6 and 6. So I will tell you whenever there's a discrepancy and where it goes. All right, here we go. You ready? They start off with
first, I'll go second.
with the Apple. Is it the Apple Bowl? Is that what they
Apple
call it?
Cup.
Apple Cup. Washington State. It's at home.
They'll win.
They'll
Utah State at home.
Win.
Eastern Washington at home.
Win.
Minnesota at home.
Pick them. Win.
Oh, I got to win there. At USC.
Loss.
Yep. Iowa on Friday night at home.
Loss.
God, that's a real coin flip.
That's a loss for me, Jim.
A win.
17-7.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be a terrible game. And then they play back-to-back Friday night games. This one's at Purdue.
Win.
Yep.
Win.
This will be interesting. At Nebraska.
Loss.
It's a win.
Loss. Oof. Man, you really value this team. Penn State.
I like Jedd Fisch. I like Jedd
Loss.
Fisch more than I like whatever
the team's bad. but
Nebraska's coach. I'm blanking. The Baylor guy.
Matt
Carolina
Rule.
fan.
Matt Rule.
Yeah.
Matt
Give
Rule.
me Jedd Fisch in a coin flip. See, that's why I like the Iowa game's tough because Kirk Ferentz and Jedd Fisch are both such good coaches. But Jedd Fisch will figure out Nebraska.
That's such a Kurt Ferentz game, dude. On the road, Friday night. against a 4-1 team. Yeah, that's it. All right. Penn State at home.
Loss.
Win.
Ooh, I gotta lost that
God.
team, man. You got it. You
You're
got him going to the
gross.
playoffs
Yeah.
At-
this is
at
disgusting.
Michigan State.
Win.
Win.
We don't need to. We're not going to guess the
Loss.
next one. At Oregon
Loss.
to end the
Loss.
season. Okay.
I
I
have
have
them
it 6-6.
6 and 6.
I have them 8-4.
Or 7 and 4.
8-4. They're going to Las Vegas, maybe. But yeah, it's so funny to read some of these previews where
6.
the College Football News has their ceiling as a college football playoff team.
Yeah, I've seen 10-2. I've seen 10 I have them. I've seen them undefeated going into Indiana.
I could see them.
I can see them losing to Wazoo.
See them. Really, I don't know much about Wazoo,
Wazoo's
but they've
awful.
got to be. They've
Let's see
got to be
Apple Cup.
revamped now that they actually have a
Go
conference.
through
with
who your
friends.
6 losses are.
Yeah,
Who
you
your
ready?
5 losses are.
Oh, my six are at USC, Iowa, at Nebraska, Penn State, and Indiana and Oregon.
Mine are the same.
Okay. So you have them 6-6 too.
Yeah.
I just don't see them. Maybe they could beat Nebraska. Maybe. And
I
then
talked myself
maybe
out
they
of Nebraska because it's a road game.
Yeah, that's the only one. Nebraska and Iowa, I'll give you as maybe a 60-40.
And I can talk myself into them losing Minnesota too.
I can't. God dang that team. You want to talk about two ugly teams.
Exactly.
So I have USC, Indiana, Oregon for sure. And then I see him splitting Iowa, Penn State.
Phew.
Okay.
I just don't think Nebraska's got no quarterback. Their coach stinks.
Yep.
They have no weapons.
Agreed.
Because they just lost Emmett Johnson, who was their only piece. They brought in next to nothing.
They're always due for one of those games, right? Though at home where they'll get somebody. They're not like a high tier, not top 10, not whatever team, but a team where they're home dogs by 3.5. Maybe they'll scratch their way to a win to that one. I will give you ceiling of 8-4.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ceiling of 8-4.
Again,
All right,
it's
let's
just
talk
me
about
giving
it.
credit to and we'll get into it more in depth right now, but I'm giving credence to the coach and the quarterback. I'm high on their quarterback. I'm high on their coach.
Okay.
So that I think that's where my rationale come from. The rest of their team, let's just get into it.
I'm
gonna unload my sack. He's
goodness.
Jedd Fisch is 15-11 in 2 years. 15-11 for Washington. That's fine. What is he? So IU, Jedd Fisch was one of the candidates for IU.
Oh,
If Jedd Fisch comes to IU, what's his record in those 2 years?
You just stole one of my Brando's. I swear.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
They hired Jedd Fisch. Yeah.
It's
15
Maybe
and
slightly
11.
worse. Maybe we're looking
gonna
at
say.
13 and 13.
There's no first round draft picks, probably.
No, I don't
But
think
he
Mendoza
turned
comes.
around. So my point is, he turned around Arizona, and Arizona is like pre-SIG and IU, not quite equivalent. Arizona's a little bit better, but if he can resurrect Arizona, he can resurrect Indiana.
What I
Not
think he can
16-0 national champions,
right.
But I like Jedd Fisch.
He can recruit high school kids and he can get wide receivers ready for the NFL. Those are the two things he can sell.
Yeah, I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. There's nothing about him to me.
You don't like the visor, admit it.
I don't like the visor. I don't like the visor.
Nobody
I don't like
likes the visor.
glasses. I don't like the combo.
You're a fit guy, and you don't like the glasses and visor. Just say it. You don't like his fit.
I don't like Sig's cut off windbreaker either. But the guy, I'm not going to tell him. I wouldn't tell him to his face. I would tell Jedd Fisch I'd knock his visor right off his head while I tell him I don't like his visor, because he's got no swag. He has no intimidation factor. There's nothing there. Sig, I would cower. I wouldn't say. I'd be like, I really like your shirt, and then I would walk away.
Kevin
Like,
Sumlin was linked to the Purdue job for like a decade and a half, and I swear every time they put a picture of him, it was the same picture of him at Texas A&M wearing a visor, and I always wanted, nope, don't want him anymore. No interest.
oh my God, you guys would be so much better if you had Kevin Sumlin.
Yeah, 15 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, probably. All right, let's move. So Jedd Fisch, yeah, third season, 15-11, right? He's taking this is mind blowing. These stats, like the rankings of both their offense and the defense. Last year, offense was ranked 38th in the country. There's a lot coming back, right?
Sort of loaded, dude. You know the NFL talent they put out?
They did, right? But what do they do on the field? They didn't do a whole lot on the field. So that all comes down to, everybody say it together, coaching. And so they didn't do, thank you. They did nothing. And honestly, the guy that we beat, who is that quarterback? Not Will Howard.
Rogers.
Mississippi State guy.
Rogers. That guy, not a bad quarterback.
Not a bad quarterback.
You should have won a lot more games with him and that team. That has a very good running back, very good wide receivers. Should have won a lot more games. All right, a lot coming back. Damon Williams, Brandon's greatest quarterback of all time. I don't know how he was blackmailed into having to stay into Washington. I don't know if he really wants to be there. Maybe somebody threw a bag at him just for staying. 3 for 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, ran for 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's, as Brandon said, he's a short king. He's 5'11", listed at 5'11".
There's zero chance he's 5'11".
Yeah, no chance.
If he's 5'11", I'm 5'11".
He's yeah, right. He's got the chance, right? He's got the arm. He's got the legs. He
has
got
arm talent.
Some of the pieces that could
He's
put him.
Diego Pavia without being an asshole.
Oh.
Well, we haven't heard him talk yet, so we'll see. But he's got the pieces, right? He can move. He can throw. He's done pretty well in the first year he got to start all the way through. He could be a top quarterback in the conference if he wanted to. Not the top quarterback, but one of the top quarterbacks in the conference. The problem is the dude his decision making is not great. He can't get rid of the football.
Yeah,
right?
He runs around a lot, like a lot.
And it was, speaking of, we talked about how sometimes we'll read a bunch of different previews. And the one preview that I actually LOL'd when I was reading it, they said you cannot blame the offensive line for the 31 sacks last season because many of them came from Williams using his feet. And my immediate thought was, well, if he didn't have to use his feet, the offensive line would be better, right? Like if the offensive line was better, chances are he wouldn't have to scramble for his life the entire time. So we'll get to the offensive line.
Kyler Murray, like I don't care about
Kyler.
the play. I don't care about the play. You also short king. I don't care about the play that you drew up. I saw something and I'm gonna do it. He has that like backyard quarterback thing that he has going on.
Who that only works for? Or a couple people, right? Brett Favre and Baker Mayfield. That's it. Like that's it.
Do you
Somebody,
know
by the way, pay him?
So here's the thing, though. I think you're right and you're wrong. You know who it works against? Northwestern, Michigan State, works against UCLA. Guess who Washington no doubtedly beat up on the past 2 years?
Northwestern, UCLA, and Michigan State.
They have beat who they were supposed to beat and have upset nobody.
No one.
And I think it'll be the same this year because of the way my boy plays. Like, you can't go off script against Ohio State. You can't go off state against Oregon. You can't go just let me see how I can beat this Indiana Brian Haynes defense. It's just not going to work, right? You're going to have a lot of turnovers. You're going to have sacks, and you're not going to move the ball. That's, and he's not going to change. We're going to get the same quarterback last year that we got this year, right? And I'm totally ruining your outline. There's one. They lost Boston, but they get Christian Moss. Christian Moss played for Kennesaw State, and he was one of the best players on the field last year for both teams. Christian Moss was that a catch he had on Sharp or Pons? He mossed one of them. Like, mossed one of them. Obviously, pun intended. But again, so they got him to come over. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. He averages 16 yards a catch last year.
He had 5
again,
for
I think
54
Christian,
against IU.
what was he?
5 for 54.
5 for
against
54.
IU.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, I mean, I think he's their only hope for the season because, we can rip Williams. Dude, they got nothing else. They lose Jonah Coleman. They lose Boston. They get Jaden Lamar from Oregon, which is a great transfer. I think he'll
prone, very injury prone.
Very injury prone. But outside of Moss and Lamar, the cupboard's pretty bare for.
That's what I'm saying, right? And the offensive line, they returned 4 or 5 players from last year, and they bring in I think a pretty highly touted
Cody Green, the true
tackle.
freshman left tackle, will start immediately.
Yeah. So here's the problem. Whether or not it was Williams moving around or not, giving up 31 sacks, he's still there.
Yeah.
He's still there, and they ranked 116th in sacks allowed, 76th in TFLs allowed. Right? Now here's the problem. As bad as much talent as they had last year, and as much as we want to kind of crap on their offense, they kind of hung with, if Ohio State didn't do what Ohio State did to everybody last year, except for IU, and like completely constrict everybody when they get down to the red zone, like completely kill every single drive, they may beat them. I mean, they gave up. I think they went 4-0. I'm just looking or thinking in my head right now. I remember watching that game. I believe they either got stopped at the goal line once or twice, and gave the ball up on downs well within the 20-yard line or 25-yard line, multiple times. Again, have all the talent you want, lose all the talent you want. You can't win football games if you got bad coaching and bad coaching decisions. I think this is what it's all going to come back to, and the lack of talent. Anything else on the offense?
Great coach.
Yeah, I'll say a couple things. The thing with Williams is with his dalliance in the offseason, they have a really weird fine line that they have to, I said this in the text group, that they have to needle, the thread they have to needle with him is he has to be good enough to not be benched, but he can't be so good that he's immediately going to leave the program for somebody else or the NFL, because that's where his eyes are.
NFL.
Yeah, he's a junior, so he can go. But what NFL team is going to draft a 5'9.5", 190-pound kid?
Right now, they've got him ranked, depending on where you look, anywhere.
It's absurd.
Between like 10th and like 12th
it's
of quarterbacks that are coming out in a massive quarterback group.
It's just patently absurd. He's a perfectly fine college quarterback. There's just no NFL profile there. They have Elijah Brown, who they brought in from Stanford, behind him. And the really, really interesting name that you will definitely recognize is Treston McMillan. Why do you recognize that name, Bragg?
Tet.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's
the younger
Arizona
brother of
guys?
Tet. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He is currently listed as third string quarterback, redshirt freshman. If there is any kind of issue with Williams, I would expect him to be pushed to the forefront very quickly. I think
also
Elijah,
a short king. A short king.
Elijah Brown was totally fine as a kind of a backup spare part Stanford quarterback, but that guy is probably going to be their future, I would guess, long term. Cody Green is the really good left tackle. He was the gem of their recruiting class. Their recruiting class was ranked anywhere between 13th or 19th, depending on who you listen to, but everybody agreed Cody Green was the top guy. And then Jordan Clay and Mason James. I am a strong believer that Jedd Fisch, he doesn't develop every position group, but he develops wide receivers. And those are the two freshmen that he sold to come to the program this year that seem to have a lot of hype around them. So if you're looking at people who might potentially develop, those are two guys you want to circle.
The running back too, right? Where is he?
Bonner. Brian Bonner Jr.
Brian Bonner, the 7th ranked running back in the country.
Correct.
Out of California, came up. So you're right, he can recruit, but you know who else can recruit? Mike Loxley. So You got to be able to.
You got to retain and develop. It's not just about recruiting.
Hey.
You got to retain and develop.
Don't.
I just.
Can we just skip through the defense? Their defense is bad. Like, not USC bad.
So bad.
They're not USC bad.
Coleman. Yeah, Coleman Brusa moving from edge to tackle, I think, is going to be a big thing for them. He was a pretty decent recruit. He'll probably start as a true freshman as well. So that's the other really exciting player they got.
Let's start here. We'll dumb it down for everybody because I kind of dumbed it down. This might be the shortest defensive breakdown I've put down all season so far. They lost so much on that side of the ball, and I say that they're they're worse than USC because their best linebacker transferred to USC. And so they lose 3 of 4 starters in the secondary. Both defensive tackles are gone. 2 pieces behind them gone, transferred out. Leading tackler, as I said, at the linebacker position, goes to USC. What do you got left? You got Zaria. Why do I know the name Zaria Alexander, by the way, Seth? I don't know if you want to look him up, see where the ties are to IU or if we were connected to him at all. But I know that name.
Idaho. He was at Idaho when we played him, I think.
Okay. He's good. He's going to come back. He's going to start. He'll be kind of the leader of the linebacker position. But in the leading tackle or safety, Alex McLaughlin, he'll be back too. But other than that, explain to me, one of you two explain to me, if this is supposed to be a top 20 team, how and why did all of these pieces leave? Other than NFL, some of them were NFL, a lot of them transferred. Why?
Yeah, and if you look, I don't know the answer to that, but if you look at our lads, like 9 out of the 11 starters were in the program last year. So they lost all of this, and it's not like they went to the portal to reload. They're banking on development.
I guess, but that some of these.
But I'm saying, like, in the modern day portal, if you lose a lot of portal guys, you normally get a lot of portal guys.
I gotta look it up because I think some of these transfers, they even transferred to like worse programs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were starting. Like, how do you not? I don't know. Maybe we're just being naive, right? And it all comes down to, oh well, they want to pay. They won't pay me enough money, or they won't do this, and so I'm going to leave. Seth, are you looking something up? Do you have any opinions on their defense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a lot of them. A lot of them transferred to USC, Arizona State, Cal,
Arizona State,
BYU, Stanford, Texas Tech, UCLA, Alabama. They lost Caleb Smith to Alabama. That was one of the decent ones. Lost a guy to Maryland, a guy to Middle Tennessee State, Arizona.
It's hilarious.
Oklahoma State. I mean, their entire. I included maybe a couple of offensive guys, but most of those guys were all.
You've named
guys.
2 programs. You named 2 programs that are ahead of where Washington is right now.
They lost
2 of them.
An interior lineman to Cal Poly, another defensive lineman to Maryland, a kicker to Illinois.
Wild, dude.
A long snapper to Florida. I mean, so some of them are decent, but there are some definite drop downs.
Yeah. Do you have any opinions on their defense? I mean, you knew about the guys sliding over to DT, and they needed help there. That's for sure.
It's a bunch of no names built on development, and the question is again that I was going to pose was if this is Indiana's roster and you're in year 3 and Jedd Fisch is your coach, and this is the defense he has. I just listened to you guys wax poetic about the D line for about 15, 20 minutes before we could even talk about Washington. I don't think you could do that about this team. We can't fill 5 minutes.
Dude, we didn't want to talk about Washington. That's why we wanted to continue to talk about an actual defensive line or a defense that's going to do anything.
And I'm sure some of them will develop and some will be just fine. I think Alex McLaughlin is a pretty decent safety. Sure. Is Jedd Fisch the guy who's going to develop all 11 of these players? I think he can develop 2 or 3. I just think there's a lot of clay that needs to get molded.
Yep. Are we done?
I got nothing else to say on this defense. They're going to have to outscore teams, and I think they do. I think they outscore Iowa. I think they outscore Minnesota. I think they outscore Purdue. I think they outscore Nebraska.
This might be a Big 12 team in the Big 10.
I think you're right. I think they're in the wrong conference. They're
It's a
not going to be able
Pac-12
to
team.
they're not going to be able to outscore, or I think Indiana, Oregon, and USC beat them and beat them bad, because the way they're built to win, they're not going to be able to do it.
They don't have the versatility. There's no, if they can't beat you with the fastball, they're not going to beat you with the breaking ball.
No, zero chance.
It's and we may not right now. It's fun to be a Cubs fan. Knock on wood. I just hope they're just not good. I don't see how they do it. But they've got a couple pieces here and there, right? That could, if they shine and stay healthy, that could be.
If they go 10-2, Jedd Fisch is coach of the year.
It's gotta be.
I mean,
So we're not going to talk about offense or defense anymore. Is there a nightmare scenario where they lose Nebraska, Penn State, Michigan State, and Damon quits on the team?
Yes.
And Christian Moss shuts it down.
Yes.
And Indiana is running into a graveyard Washington team.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if they lose. Well, man.
Do they fire Jedd at that point?
Fitzgerald. Yeah, I think they got. No, they'll wait.
Because he wins what
They
the
have
first
to.
he wins the
Because
first
there
2
is
games.
a world. I think this is the only interesting part, and Seth sent it 10 minutes before the pod, and I should have got to this earlier. But there is a nightmare scenario where the team doesn't like Damon, and they lose to Minnesota, USC, Iowa, and their record is 3-3, right? Unfortunately,
4-3.
it's Purdue. Unfortunately, it's 4-3, and then they lose to Nebraska, lose to Penn State, lose to Michigan State, and they're 4-6,
And it's over.
And this team just folds.
Does
I
Jedd
do not think
get
it's
fired
like-
after Michigan
I've said-
State?
I don't think so. I don't think Jedd's getting fired regardless.
I think if they're 4-6 at that point, I think he's done. Hold on. If you take all your pieces that you're talking about, Damon quits, the team gives up, right? He loses the locker room. It's done. It's over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't see
said
that
it.
happening.
Damon doesn't even want to be there. Let's be honest.
No.
Yeah.
He's made it clear.
So if things get ugly,
I hope this isn't a rando, but I want to ask it anyway. Switch shoes here. Josh Hoover. Josh Hoover has kind of a similar, we can call it a scandal, right? A similar scandal to what Damon Williams had, where he was gone. It was announced pretty much on Twitter and other things. Blaine probably already announced it somewhere. He was going to LSU. And how desperate would you be to keep him? And then how would you feel about that? Would you boo him when he came out?
It's Washington, so they're not going to boo anybody. But I don't know. It depends how ugly it gets. Actually, I take that back. It's college kids. The college kids could boo. I don't know.
Answer it from an IU perspective. If this happened at IU, how would you feel about Josh Hoover? Would you be happy?
No, I wouldn't. It would be hard to get behind the guy.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like your girlfriend tries to break up with you, right? But you're like, well, but
winning
And
is
so
everything,
you phrased
but
the question weird.
losing.
What about
exposes
Alberto? What if we blocked Alberto going to Georgia Tech because we already paid him an NIL? I think isn't that a better comparison?
Maybe,
If
but
we
this
said
is a
Alberto, I'm
starting
sorry.
Well,
quarterback.
Alberto hadn't been starting for a year and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
doesn't feel good.
We had Hoover before Berto left.
Yes, correct.
So to me,
That forces
that'd
his
be
hand.
losing a backup quarterback to me doesn't hurt as much as like this really hyped up starting quarterback that should want to be here, that's part of the program, that would rather be somewhere else.
Didn't Michael Penix do that?
I was happy for him. That program,
Me too.
the program was such a mess. And honestly, his knees, and you're seeing it now. You're seeing it. Tua's probably going to start. he just can't get healthy. His body is broken, man. His body's broken. I'm happy that he got one really, really solid season in college, made it to a national championship, got embarrassed there. But that's hard to be upset about when your team is trash and you've got a really, really good player. So, all right. Randos, what's up?
Yeah. So we'll speed around through a couple of these. Would you ever own a husky? Both of you have dogs that hopefully are with us forever. But
No.
if they're not, would you ever own a husky?
Yes.
No.
I like them. Well, the only reason I say that is because one of our friends, Justin, he's got one.
Yeah.
And his dog is really cool.
Uh-huh.
His dog's not crazy. He's real well behaved, real good looking husky too. Like, I would have one. They shed so much.
I'm
though.
going to go to the Brandon/Colin Cowherd school of comparisons here that are going to come off as probably sexist, but that's okay.
Oh my god.
It's like a really hot girl with a lot of baggage, you know. She's really fun to look at, but you're always cleaning up after her, and you know, she's always like, hey, it'll be another 5-10 minutes, and then it ends up being 20 minutes. But then she always has this energy, and you're just like, calm the hell down sometimes. And then you end up smoking cigarettes because you're like, you just need some kind of way to get out of the house for 5 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, that is a really good comparison. And to be clear, when I said, when you did say, hopefully they live forever, I hope one of my dogs lives forever. The other one's technically not mine, and she's horrible.
I'll say,
But,
and mine
all
is
right, moving
13, and my wife won't let us get a new one until the old one passes away. So unfortunately, I kind of need one to happen so I can get the puppy. I want a puppy.
So, moving on. Will Washington win a national title again?
No.
Do they have the NIL and the ability and just the infrastructure? No, I'm not saying Jedd Fisch. I'm just saying the University of Washington. Do they have an ability to win a national championship?
So they won in 91, which was what, 35 years ago? Was that 91? 91.
Mm-hmm. It sounds right. That also sounds like maybe Colorado, but
I think they were 90,
around that time.
But yeah, maybe they shared, but yeah. They have potential from a funding standpoint because Seattle is one of the richest, most industrialized, corporate cities in the world. But none of the people who are famous in Seattle are sports people, except for Paul Allen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what his ties are.
I'm going to look this up. I don't have an answer. I honestly, based on last year, I think anybody could do it, depending on if the situation is right. I mean, honestly, like on the outside looking in on our program, there wasn't a soul in the country that thought IU would ever win a national championship. They thought
did not think.
2024 was a fluke. Go ahead.
Oh, Paul Allen went to Washington State, so no way.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So while doing a little bit more research here, I'm going to ask the next question because I know we're up against it. Who is the Midwest equivalent to Washington? And when I say that, I mean has NIL backing, has a good mascot, has sweet colors. Who is, because I couldn't say like Big Ten equivalent because they're in the Big Ten, but like who is the not Michigan? Who is the Midwest school equivalent to Washington? Because I love Washington. Colors, mascot.
I would say
Missouri?
Iowa State, Minnesota.
Ooh, Iowa State's a good shout.
It's kind of party. It's kind of.
I don't like their colors though.
It's not my favorite, but I like Cyclones. You could be a cool Cyclone.
And I like the mascot. What about is Missouri too big? Missouri's too big.
It's too boring. It's way too boring.
You got the Tigers. You got cool colors.
It's Columbia. It
is Columbia. But so you're talking location too,
right?
Minnesota's probably the only one.
Seattle and Minneapolis. Minneapolis is a pretty corporate city as well.
Yeah, Target,
See,
Starbucks.
I was going to compare Seattle. So I was going to say Wisconsin, right? Seattle to Madison.
Yeah.
I love
Right?
Madison.
Their
I don't like
jerseys.
I don't like red and
Wisconsin has better jersey, or Washington has better jerseys, but
Yeah.
Wisconsin's are still classic. They're still nice.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Except for that one they're wearing at the beginning of the year this year.
Oh, that Notre
So
Dame.
anyway, I was going to say
awful.
Wisconsin, but I think all those answers are mostly right except for Missouri.
Yeah, I can't get behind Missouri. No, come on. I didn't know we were doing the city thing. I was thinking like, kind of middle of the road, like not over the top hype, like cool mascot. I like their mascot.
Yeah. Pivoting away from Washington, how many scouts were at the first IU practice today?
Well, there's 32 teams. I'm going to go with 30.
At least a dozen.
Close, 10, which
Okay.
is the most that it's most ever that Jared Kelly and Matt Weaver have ever seen. 10 on the first day of camp. 2 more fun questions, nothing to do with football. Stay-at-home husbands and boyfriends are at the highest it's ever been in the history of that the stat has been recorded. Would either one of you be a stay-at-home husband?
Dying.
Yes.
I don't think I can do it. I think I need purpose.
I don't think you could
in my
either.
life.
You can't do it. You can't. I don't think you have it in
you
you.
can't.
You don't have the courage
don't.
or the fortitude,
Too
the
soft.
toughness. Yeah.
You know how
I don't think I should be
immaculate my
stay-at-home
house
dad.
would be, inside and out. It would be beautiful. I'd have
Oh
the
no,
best
my house would
yard
still
in
be
the
a shithole.
Well, that's true. I would have the best
I would look
yard
good.
in the neighborhood. I would have the best interior of the house. Like I'd probably get in trouble because I'd be constantly doing projects inside. But no, dude, I could do it. I actually have a friend that does, and he just because he's married to a pediatric neurologist, but he also has bachelor's. He has got his bachelor's and 2 graduate degrees actually himself, and does nothing for work.
Just don't fall
there you
asleep
go.
near him.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact: in the Fortune 500, there are more women on the payroll than men. That's also the first time that's ever been.
Wow.
In the Fortune 500 companies, more women on
Seth,
payroll.
don't say it.
We got to get rid of DEI.
Oh my God. That's not
All right.
what I was thinking.
Last Lando I have. Seth, you have obviously been to Michigan 4,000 times in your lifetime. What is the second most visited state by you?
Colorado.
That,
Oh,
God,
we're
makes so
going there in
much
a few
sense.
weeks. It does. Too bad somebody else isn't going.
We
I'm assuming that
vacation there
question's
every summer. Yeah.
coming towards me here too. Florida, probably.
It's Florida for me, for sure.
Number 2. I think Michigan's number 1 just because my family's had a lake house there my entire life. So there's that, and then there's just been on a ton of vacations when I was a kid to Florida.
Yeah. Anyway, that was all. Long randos.
Long randos. The sack has been dumped, or do you have more? Do you
Yeah,
have to
mine
clean
were
up
all,
some?
how much do you wish you had Jedd Fisch?
Oh my God.
I know.
Do you have any cleaning up to do or no?
No, I think I tried to get everything when it was done.
I don't believe that the Zaire Alexander.
No, he did not play against. He was not. He did not play against IU when he was at Idaho.
There's got to be
Idaho?
other.
He was at Central
connections.
Florida
Oh
before
my
that. It looked like.
God. Arizona State too. Where else hasn't he played? He was at Idaho, UACF. Yeah,
Central
I don't know,
Florida.
man. He went to Kennedy Catholic, so it's not like he went anywhere close to us.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I know that name. Maybe he's got a brother. Nope.
You got a
I don't know. He does have a brother, actually. Lanyata Alexander. He's a receiver at Arizona State.
Interesting.
Okay, never mind. Then we're done. That's it. It was a little bit of Washington and a lot of other crap around it. A good
so
stuff.
much
Sorry.
defensive line talk, and I love it.
Yes. Oh,
Real
God,
quick,
I can't wait for 2 deep.
This I have not seen anywhere on Twitter or message boards. You talked about the linebacking room needing help. Holden Stays. When we invite Holden Stays back, he's another eligible player. Again, too late in the podcast. We can get into this next one, but for you listeners, this is something that I've heard it rumored nowhere, but he was one of the 3 IU players. 2 are already coming. as Holden stays the third. I don't know. I don't know.
You couldn't poke a single hole anymore if that happens. So, all right. Well, we'll talk about that more when it does, or if it does happen, and then we'll figure it out from there. So we are one more podcast away from finishing the season preview series. Yes, that is next week.
Upset alert.
Oh my God. And then we'll do two deep and then season predictions, I think. I don't know. We'll figure it out on the go like we always do. We're not professional. Yeah, until next time. See you later. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
We are not professionals.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.